Gorka team, welcome back to DayZ, Loot Routes Survivor's Guide on the White Cloud server. This is part 2 of the Solnichny Nizhneye spawn group loot route. So we're out here just outside Gorka. We've just come up the road, goes round in a bend from our last destination. And you may have remembered that we kind of covered Gorka a little bit during the initial intro, but I'll just whiz through it again, just so you get an idea of what we're likely to find here and the kind of goods and things we're likely to find. Obviously, what I said the last time I think it was up here was there's a police up there. You can just see the yellow building, and a medical, and that's why we want to be here in Gorka. Come up here about midway through our route, see what's happening, see if we need any tets, see if we need any additional ammo for our weapons or anything, and a general scout around for upgrades. So I'll go and do that, and I'll see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now. Well, team, here we are at Gorka. We have come up from down Solnichny. We've come up the road. We're now up in Gorka, and we're going to head on to Radio Zenit next, which is going to be good because you're going to get a fantastic view of the countryside around you from Radio Zenit. The only possibly I want that jacket. The only possible issue that we currently have is I was kind of hoping by now that I'd have something in the way of either duct tape or a sewing kit or leather. Don't drop the gun, because that's what we need to effect some pretty crucial repairs. So let's talk about Gorka first. Well, that is Gorka. My Gorka has a mummy in it, but there you go. So that bit of disappointing from the medical. Didn't really get anything I wanted. I did check the houses around, so in case you do not know, within a certain radius of the place is fantastic for fruit. Within a certain radius of medical, all the buildings will spawn medical loot. So outbuildings, sheds, even cars, various other bits and pieces. So I was hoping for some emergency tets. I didn't get tets, What I did get though was multivits, and multivits are awesome. They are down here because they certainly help if you're shivering a lot, or you're cold, or your blood is low. You can pop these multivits, and they will do a fantastic job of protecting you from getting sick in any way. We obviously picked up a fully loaded, pristine CR527. Well, it wasn't fully loaded. It had a mag in it, and which reminds me, I want to load that mag. And we had to swap out with some of the other things that were on our version of the CR527 that we had, which is fine. We've got a fully functioning sniper rifle, which is great for hunting and also for sniping if we have to. We've got our close combat shotgun and a bunch of things for that, which is also excellent. We have our silent Z killer in our M-Lock 91 with the silencer on it, which is great. And like I said, throughout here, I just picked up bunches of fruit, which is fabulous. You know, it's one of those funny things when people start, they're like, I can't find any food, I can't find any food, I can't find any food. And after you've been playing the game for a while, you have too much food. There was like some Zeds over there with food. And this is my server. I haven't tweaked the loadouts in the Zeds. I haven't done anything with the loadouts in the Zeds. And I haven't done anything with occurrences of food. I didn't change any of that stuff. I just left it exactly as it was with official. So when it spawns under a tree, it just spawns under a tree. And it's great because it is food and it is also hydration. So it helps keep that hydration topped up, which is fabulous. Picked up a spare bandage. We got the saline kit, which is damaged. You also got a blood kit. So the blood kits, as I've said before, when you're good and you're healthy, and we're healthy now, collect some bloods because they're fantastic. Gorka in particular down here gets gas strikes. I think I've said that before. So if you get a gas strike and you need a replenish, that would be the kind of thing that you need to get a replenish of. And having it around helps protect you, certainly. So if we have a saline bag and a blood bag, that's fine. We're absolutely very well protected. You never know what can happen. You can get into all kinds of sticky situations. Let's see, what are we carrying here? This is 55645, so I don't need that. Oh, we got the stove. So we've consolidated the stove and the gas canister. We just need a pot or a frying pan. A pot would be ideal. I picked up this, which is a GPS receiver, and the reason I picked that up is I'm hoping if I get a map I can then show you exactly where I am when I'm traveling around without the need to come down to the map board, and which is over here, and show you on the map board. And we picked up some other things, so we'll do a bit of inventory management. Once you've been running through, make sure you sort out your inventory. If you've got full tincture, don't discard it. Discard the other one, because you know why. Don't carry around more. I got more stuff than I need, honestly, food wise. Like I said, I've got cans of drink, I've got apples, I've got meat. If we had the pot, we would be able to store some of this stuff and everything else. We've picked up a hunter's jacket, we've picked up a hunter's backpack, which is perfect. That's all I ever want, a hunter's backpack. You can get the field backpack, which is obviously like 90, which is fine if you want that kind of thing, but I don't really want that kind of thing. And we picked up rope in case we need to make a fishing rod, which is fabulous. And we have also, what was I going to say? Oh yes, epinephrine. I don't tend to use it. It's good in, I guess, PvP encounters. If you're low on stamina, you give yourself a shot of epinephrine. It boosts your stamina and you can run away to live to fight another day or something like that. But I don't do that. So that's Gorka, and like I said, we have upgraded a little bit. We've got a better jacket with more capacity. We've got a better bag with more capacity. We've got a better weapon with more capacity. We've got some more supplies. We've got some more ammunition. We're on the way to getting a fully functioning gas stove. That's what you want to get out of a town. That's what we wanted to get out of Gorka. That's what we got out of Gorka, which is fabulous. Are we short of some things still? Yeah, absolutely. But what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to Radio Zenit, which is over here. as you can see. And there's not actually a heck of a lot in Radio Zenit, but it is a very good high point. Gives you a good lie of the land. There are some sheds and things you can pick some stuff in. So we're going to go and have a look at that. And because this is an easy route, from there we're going to head pretty much across country to Grishino. Now, unofficial, you may want to go to the dwarf's castle. On my version, castles are not easy. So, in fact, they're very hard because of what I've done to castles. So, I'm not going to go near the castle on this one because this is an easy one. So, we're going to go up to Zenit and then we're going to head straight over to Grishino. So, I'll call you back when we get to Zenit because it sounds like night is falling and visibility will be reduced sometime soon. So, it doesn't really make it very good for you guys to watch. I might head on and try and avoid these Zeds here and make it over to Radio Zenit in the night. And I'll see you soon. Well, Cura team, I made it over here quicker than I thought. I thought I'd have to do a couple of things offline, but I'm fine. This is Radio Zenit. Gorka's down there, so Radio Zenit, as you saw on the map, is sort of a kind of a northwest of Gorka, which is Dandio. So just follow the road, follow your nose. On a clear day, you can't miss these two masts. They're absolutely huge, of course. And we'll go and see. There's a little outhouse. There's a little trail marker place further down there on the outskirts if you want to go and check it out. There's a couple of outbuildings up here. Hummer. I don't think I've got any Z spawns here on mine yet. You can always add them in. Hummer hood, if you wanted a Hummer hood. Trunk, boot, whatever you want to call it. Always checking here. Things spawn in there randomly enough. Right, so that's the outbuildings. If you want, you can climb this tower. I'm not going to because night is falling. But by all means, do climb both of them if you feel like it. I have. It's well worth it on a clear day. You get a fantastic view of everything. Do be aware that this place does get gassed. That said, if you're way up there, you're way above the gas. As long as it doesn't come down on top of you. This is the Radio Zenit building with the truck spawn and the outbuilding to it. There are Zeds that normally spawn here, and I think they're military. I believe it's a military installation. I'm not sure the exact history of this particular site. Oh, night is coming on. Night is coming on strong. Our head torch isn't quite doing anything yet. It's not quite that dark. I had thought there was more Zeds around. Maybe they'll appear. What's that? Heat pack. If you're into that kind of thing. Back door. You can go up on the roof, but I'm not going to. Some sneakers. Not a whole heck of a lot for me. Sadly, not a whole heck of a lot for me. Check around here. Something. What's that? A zucchini. So there you go, not really anything here in Radio Zenit, but it is a nice place to stop off on the way to where we are going. So like I said, night is falling. We're going to be heading to Grishino. I'm going to have a look. I might be able to make it over there at the night. We'll have a look. I got my compass. Don't have my map, but we'll give it a try. See you soon. Right, welcome back. The map board's over there. I'm on a roof because there's a lot of Zeds about. But we're at Grishino. This is Grishino. So, if I pull up the map, we were over at Gorka, and we did Gorka, which is fine, and then we took the road out of Gorka and followed it up to Radio Zenit, and then from Radio Zenit we followed the road across the fields at night, which is not very interesting for you to watch, and that brought us into the northern bit of Grishino, which is where we are now. Rain again. I got hosed with rain in the night. It looks like it's going to carry on raining. I'll just crouch down so maybe this guy doesn't see me. So we're gonna have a quick run around Grishino. I mean, I guess the thing with Grishino is it's not very big. It's where I would normally come, and where a lot of people would probably normally come to get ready to go into NWAF. Because this is an easy loot route, we won't be doing NWAF. The reason being that I'm on my easy ones generally staying away from the military stuff, because as I've said before, the military Z are pretty intense, or at least have been. There's quite a lot of them. Certainly in my version, I've definitely, in most cases, at least doubled the amount of military infected that there are kicking around places like NWAF, if not added in additional spawn points. And while I did say, and continue to say, before you go near a military base, always have a very good silenced weapon. We have a silenced M-lock, which is fine, but the suppressor is not necessarily in great condition, and I don't have a gun cleaning kit. So while it hoses with rain, I'm gonna do a quick run around Grishino. Well, here we are again, back on the roof. I'm up here because those Zeds are chasing the cows around. And if I was hungry for meat, I'd certainly be. I mean, I walked up and snuck up and sat right down next to a cow. And if I was hungry for meat, I'd follow it around and wait for the Zeds to deal with it, and then I would have some free meat. But I am not hungry for meat, and I don't need to. I don't need to deal with that. So anyway, that is Grishino, which is all well and good. Typical DayZ fashion, I got plenty of ammo for my shotgun, which is great, and I didn't get a single thing that I wanted for either duct tape or sewing kit or a leather repair kit, which is somewhat typical. So yeah, so anyway, that's the police and the hunt store and everything. What I did get though was I got a new stab vest off a cop that attacked me. In pretty good condition as well, given the fact that he attacked me. And which is, if a Zed attacks you and you are attacking them with a knife or a melee weapon or something, go for the head. Aim for the head if you can, is my advice. We got a set of Hunter's Pants, which is great. It's slightly better camouflage. This will do us until, hopefully, you know, in theory, we could get a camouflage vest at some point. It's one of those trade-offs. The stab vest has some armor protection value. The other vests, they're just clothes. They're just an additional vest. They're just additional carrying capacity. So it's entirely up to you. It's a dark color, but it does still stand out a bit compared to the camo gear. If you're standing in like a tree, for example, that would be your problem with that. Although, having said that, this thing that you can see over my left shoulder, the bottle suppressor, they stand out a mile. When you see a player running around with this, it's like a flag. You can see them running around. So anyway, that's the situation there. So we got a bunch of ammo. So we've got shotgun ammo coming out of here. So there's a box of shotgun ammo as well. So we've got a box of shotgun ammo. We've got stocked up on water, which is great. We've still got some fruit that I wasn't even looking for food because I just don't need it. So that's Grishino. Grishino's not too bad. And like I said, if you wanted to, NWAF is over in that general direction. If you head out that way, you will get there, and that is that. So we're not going that way. We're going to be going north, which is that way. We are heading up the road because we are going to head to Zaprudnoe. And it's a bit of a hike up the road, but that's fine. We're ready. We're sorted. We don't have a problem. And that takes us into this kind of the northern territory, which is, in my mind, north of the railway track. So we're going to carry up the road to Zaprudnoe, which is then one of the two larger settlements, which is the preliminary to our final destination on this route, which is Novaya Petrovka. So that's where we're going to go next, in the rain. And it's really literally just up the road, so I'm going to call you in when I get to Zaprudnoe. See you soon. This is Zaprudnoe. So up there is the train track. And the train track goes over a little bridge, and there's a broken down civilian train that spawns there sometimes. So this is the northern road, the northern road that runs all the way from Svetlo all the way across the top, and that's the northern train line. It's kind of like the northern channel, you might say. What else you might call it? Channel? Tunnel? Route, I guess, something like that. Anyway, this is where we join it, and it is the last legs of our journey, because we're basically following the road at Zaprudnoe, and the road at Zaprudnoe takes us all the way into Novaya Petrovka. Now, along the way from Grishino to here, there's a whole load of little houses along the side of the road. and they're worth a visit. And I dropped in, and I picked up some duct tape. So we're actually in good condition. So we've repaired this, and we've repaired our pants, and we swapped out a better bag for a rubbish bag. The only thing we've got is these shoes, which I think are these our original shoes. We've had these shoes a while. I don't know if they're the original shoes or if we swapped out a pair of shoes for these shoes, but they have lasted us quite a heck of a time, which is great. But we will at some point need a new pair of shoes. The benefit, as I've said before, with athletic shoes over military style shoes or any other boots or things, is just how quiet they are. And you've seen me running around in and out of Zeds and sneaking up behind Zeds and all of the rest of it. And they haven't even noticed that I'm there. Now, there's a couple of things about that, and one of the things about that is a little tip that I'm gonna share with you, which I've not actually seen anywhere else. I've not seen any creator anywhere ever mention this, and I've been testing this theory of mine for quite some time, and it seems to play out. It certainly works for me, so I don't know, I can't say if it necessarily works for everybody, but it certainly works for me. So and I guess the other thing that you obviously need to be aware of, obviously, is the weather. So if there's thunder and lightning and rain and things, that affects how much the Zeds can hear you. And you've obviously seen me sneaking around in the trees. They have dreadful eyesight, and I've shared with you the fact that if you sneak up on top of a car or a structure or something, they seem to be incapable of seeing you. I think it might have to do with the collision box of the that one saw me, of the building. I can't be 100% sure. And this is obviously a bit of an exploit. I won't deny that. You shouldn't be able to hit them through a door, but you can hit them through a door. So I make use of that exploit, and I would be fairly certain that you would too, and why wouldn't you? That's fine. But so the sneaking around thing and how they hear you and the noise that you make. So I'm going to cover that. Oh, yes. So there we go. So we've got this thing now. So let's repair our shoes. So this was the last thing that we needed to get, was the leather kit. So then we're fully sorted. And does the leather kit repair this hat? It will also repair that, but we'll hang on to it, and we'll hang on to our knife. So when you are crouched and you are moving, you often see me sometimes go a tiny little bit and stop, and go a tiny little bit and stop, and go a tiny little bit and stop, and everything else. And there's a reason for that. I don't do that because I have some kind of problem with how I hold things. I do that because there's a very distinct difference in the noises that you make when you're crouching and the time that you're running for. And I would hazard a guess it's to do with the way the game recognizes what you're doing. We'll do it out here, I think. Right. So if you start running, and you need to listen very carefully, but if you're just walking normally, you're like super quiet, you can hear the ground sound is not a lot. If you start moving, you can hear a kind of a thump, chug, 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 chug noise. It's like your clothes rubbing together, or your stuff hitting the ground, your feet hitting the ground, etc., etc. That kind of noise, you know. You've got that kind of chug, chug noise, chug, chug noise. So there's the walking, and then there's the running. Now, just as you start running, there's a very brief episode where you don't make any additional noise. It's about the first 3 steps. And between just walking and the first 3 running steps. Oh, she heard me. I think she turned around and looked at me. Oh, she appears to be stuck. Allow me to help you. That was a bit weird. So yes, so what I was saying is, about the first 3 steps that you get in running is as quiet as walking. And then you'll hear the sound effect change. So, walking, the same, change in sound effect. So there's these sort of, I guess you might call it 3 different states, as it were. So what I've found is if I'm trying to sneak run through an area, what I'll do is I'll boost run for 3 steps, stop, boost run for 3 steps, stop, boost run for 3 steps, stop. And it's a bit jittery, but you can actually get around pretty quickly, and the Zed can't hear you. They just can't. So that's my tip. And I don't know of anyone who I've ever seen talk about that or even mention that tip. So there you go. That one's for totally free. But you would have to watch until this part of the episode to find that out. So if you quit earlier, you're in trouble. Ooh, sea chest. Isn't that nice, eh? Someone keeps telling me you can build one of those things. I've never seen one built, and I don't even know if you can repair one. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't know about not building one, but repairing one for sure. Anyway, I've been blathering on while I've been running around just outside Zaprudnoe. 380s. And like I say, while this is quote unquote Zaprudnoe, it's kind of just a sort of an elongated road that takes you into Novaya Petrovka. What we want is over on the other side. So it's a wire over here. This is now heading up into some of the higher tiered areas, and over here on the other side is a bunch of long, like military farm barracks, and that is where we're going to go next. Right, here we are. The barrack buildings are over there. I'm going to have a quick look inside this farm building, but I'm going to be careful because this area does tend to spawn a lot of Zeds. Another backpack. Now, I wouldn't, as I said before in the last Heli crash, I wouldn't necessarily advocate if you're doing easy to necessarily come and do this. But if you feel comfortable about doing it, then by all means do it. Let's see how many we've got. Wrong one. 6 in total, it looks like. I think I might just reload for now. And ideally at this stage we're looking for high caliber weaponry. Don't really need anything else. Maybe a vest? Military vest? What's that? Is that a general normalized suppressor? Don't know if that'll work on anything of mine. Got an ammo box. Packed full of ammo, if that was your thing. Got a ballistic helmet, not in the blue variant that I'm currently wearing. Got some gloves, a handrail. An S-Val. If that's the kind of thing, gonna take it because it's part of our loot route. I think that guy is close to seeing me. Did he see me? He didn't see me. It's alright. I don't think there's anything else here. I went around the front. Yeah. A nice valve, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Some gear if you wanted to military up and that was the way that you wanted to go. By all means, you could very definitely do that. Where's my shotgun gone? So yeah, so those military barracks there, obviously I lucked in with that, but there's obviously that's a possibility. Those military barracks there are very good. You might not get the same loot types. I have messed around with the military loot types on military barracks, as I've said before. Well, you may not know that, but I have said that before about this server. So this is because this is my server. I've mucked around with a bit. So that's effectively Zaprudnoe. So we're heading on along the road, and this will take us to our last destination on this loot route. And I guess you know, it's calling it perhaps destination. The whole of this road has things off it. You know, there's like a farmhouse down there. There's like this building here. So as you're moving, there's other buildings out there. So as you're moving along the road from Zaprudnoe towards Novaya Petrovka itself, you're still continuously looting and looking for things. This is... So there you go. Oof. Now then, that's a good one. So obviously the top one is Novaya Petrovka, and that is our final destination. And one underneath, I think, is Severograd, which we haven't done in this route. So this is the Northern Highway. Right, here we are, not far up the road. There's a big orchard over there if you want to go scrumping for apples. Once you see the church in the big industrial area, you've reached the outskirts of Novaya Petrovka proper. There's not really a lot in the industrial area that I found loot-wise, so I wouldn't really. I mean, if you want to hole up there, you know, cook some stuff, do some inventory management, do a bit of control, whatever, that's fine. You'll sometimes find bases and things in there, but otherwise I wouldn't bother. Here we are, Novaya Petrovka. So yeah, this is the outskirts of Novaya Petrovka. It's a fairly sizable city. It's a kind of a Berezino-sized city from that perspective, I guess. That's Tizzy is the top one. That's 2 kilometers that way. That they don't mean Tizzy military base. They mean the Tizzy town, the town on the border checkpoint area. And the other one is Topolniki, which is just beyond Novaya Petrovka. So if you're heading out even further west, you might head out to Topolniki, and then beyond that is Sinistok and so on. So yeah, we're going to end it here. I'm not going to run around Novaya Petrovka and show you everything that is in Novaya Petrovka. I will leave that up to you. I got you here, and that is the main thing. The main thing is getting you here, and getting you here in a good condition to avoid mummies. There's a mummy over there. It's another one of my sneaky little surprises. We started out with what we started out way down the coast, Solnichny, Nizhneye. We came fairly directly and quickly up through the map on this one. It's a fairly easy kind of spawn group area, Solnichny, Nizhneye, to get you up here. NWAF is back over the hill that way, so if you follow the road up, that'll take you back up to NWAF. This is the police station. There is an awful lot of Zeds around here. My intention is to try and sneak in past them. There's water pump over there. You can just see it. So if you come in from this side and you head straight in, you're heading straight into the police station and straight in past the water. You've obviously got all these cops to deal with. Including that one. Why don't you come around the corner, madam? Hunting knife to the head. As good as any. Using the three-step shuffle. Get in, close the door. Watch out for police that are melded with the floor here. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Make sure the door is shut. Make sure he's locked in. So many Zeds. Could even be a bunch up here. Oh, Scorpion with the suppressor. That's not bad. If you want that kind of thing, it'll do damage. It's fully loaded. Sounds like there's a guy in there. No, it must be on the roof. Got another SSG, etc. No, nobody on the roof, just us. Shotgun. And a stab vest. So, yeah, so that's it. That's the end of this loot route. Thank you for joining me. How did we do? You know, that is the question. How did we do in terms of loot? Well, we have a pristine CR527. It's not the best. It would be nice to have something more like a Tundra or a Savannah or something like that. That would be fine. There was the opportunity of picking up Mosins along the way, which I've used before. It's not bad. I don't mind the Mosin. Not super, but it's alright. We got the pump action shotty, which is great. Picked it up early on, carried it all the way. Never really had to use it, which is also fine. We've got the stab vest, we've got the hunting jacket, we've got the hunting pants, we've got the hunting backpack, we've got a ballistic helmet. We could have picked up a camo one, I just stayed with the UN one. We've got the head torch, we've got the padded gloves, and we are currently rocking with athletic shoes, which are just as fine as anything else, as I'm sure that you've seen. We might have to pick up a grenade, so we're starting to get dangerous. And we got bunches of food. We never got the pot, but it's probably in here somewhere. It's probably in Novaya Petrovka. If I went round and there's a whole load of outskirts, there's a medical over there. So if you're coming in, church, police, water, down there. You got these things. You got medical over there. Not sure about hunting off the top of my head. Can't quite remember if there's a hunting store. There must be somewhere. But there's a whole bunch of houses. You know, you drift through the houses. There's a whole bunch of houses at the back. There's a helicopter crash site at the back as well, which I've been to before. It carries on. You got a bunch of apartments that you can see from over here. These apartments are the road leading up towards the train track, which takes you up into the back of NWAF. If you're heading that way, if you want to put a base up, you can put a base up in those tower blocks. Do be aware they are frequented an awful lot. And yeah, that's it. You got these things down here to look at. So we got all our food, we got our compasses. We didn't get a map. We got blood bags, we got stoves, we got ammo, we got tincture, we got food, luckily enough, from that pig. Still carrying it around from that pig, but we could have picked up cows at Grishino just the same. We got can opener. Picked up an S-Val at the heli crash site. That was pretty lucky. We just need a mag for it. That might be an excuse and a reason from here to go, oh, I'm going to do the top half of NWAF, searching for an S-Val mag. Sure, why not? Or if you want to, head up towards Tizzyway. We didn't get Tets, but we got multivits, which will prevent you from getting sick in the first place. Tets will cure you from being sick. Multivits will prevent you from getting sick if you know when to take him. We got the silenced M-Lock fully loaded and ready to go, which has proved handy on a couple of occasions. Bunch of ammo, saline bag, blood bag, hatchet, rope, standardized suppressor. We got epoxy if we ever did run across a crossbow. I'm a bit sad we didn't pick up a crossbow along the way, but we didn't pick up a crossbow along the way. And we are good to go. So that's it. That's the end of the Loot Route Survivor's Guide for this one, for the Solnichny Nizhneye spawn. And I hope it's been helpful. I've dropped you some tips along the way, some things to do. Don't get into trouble, is my advice. The more trouble you get into with Zeds, the more likely you'll get cut, the more likely you'll get infected, and really, the more damage they'll do to your gear. I mean, you saw, we basically made it all the way here without having to repair our gear, just swapping up and things like that. So if you get into fights and they knock you out, they'll trash your gear. Your gear just gets trashed, and then you're just fighting, ruined gear, and you've got to sort that out, and it's just a pain in the neck. So my advice is tread softly until you're ready to go, until you're kitted, until you're prepared to fight. I mean, even at this stage, and okay, I'll admit that this is a modded server. There's quite a few Zeds down there. So if they all got alerted to my presence and we were downstairs, 3 or 4 of them, they're going to smack you out, and you're going to get 1 or 2 cuts, and you're going to wake up on the floor bleeding, and by the time you've repaired yourself, you're going to be half your blood down. That's just the way it's going to be. So don't get into scrapes if you don't need to get into scrapes. Don't hoard. There's no need to. Just pick up what you need to pick up. I mean, I haven't really hoarded, but that said, I'm full of gear. I'm full of stuff. I just picked up, I mean, maybe batteries, but they only take up a 1 slot. I haven't really hoarded anything, and I'm still full. And that's just the way it goes. With me, it's food and this thing. But I do like the stoves. They are very essential. So that's it for this one. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful. I hope you find it helpful. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next Loot Route Survivor's Guide. Do drop a like. Do subscribe, do click the bell notification so you know when the next one of these videos will come out, and I will see you soon. Ta-ta for now. PlayStation